The Polestar 4, that is the hello, the lit badge. It's here. I know we've seen it before. We've done our own walk around. We've seen the reports from the global launch, but now it's here and ready for its first New Zealand drive. Welcome to the garage.
Subscribe to see the first drives of New Zealand's newest and best cars driven on New Zealand roads in New Zealand conditions.
New Polestars are a bit like that old bus stop adage. You know, you wait for ages for the bus, then two turn up at the same time. Well, it's been the same this year. Two new Polestars, the 3 and this, the 4. And now the traffic jam's going to be at the Polestar spaces because both the Polestar 3 and 4 are now available for test drives in New Zealand. We'll just go to polestar.com to book your test drive, or well, just watch ours. Now the Polestar 4, it is the latest Polestar model, hence the 4, but it's not the top model. Now the top model is the 3, and there's actually a link to watch our first drive in that car. That's on the screen now. What this is the most powerful and fastest Polestar yet, 400 kilowatts. It says it right there on the door. Flush door handles too, by the way. Helps with aerodynamics. But anyway, that's what the Polestar 4 is. It's not as tall as the 3, but Polestar still call this an SUV, sort of a tall sedan. Technically, they call it an SUV coupe. I prefer fastback, which brings me to the biggest talking point when it comes to Polestar 4. Yes, the back window, or at least the missing back window. Is it a gimmick? Well, at first I thought yes. But then I gave it some more thought and a closer look, and I saw that any glass would have been of little use due to the shape. The strengthening requirements would have also meant less headroom in the back seats. Instead, Polestar have stretched the glass roof right back and replaced the mirror with a high-definition camera system. And that, according to Polestar, makes it better than a traditional rearview mirror. To start with, nothing gets in the way of your rear view, not passengers' heads or headrests. And you also get a wider angle, and night vision is also better. You know, we rabbit on about wheelbase. It's the distance between the front and back wheels. At close to 3 meters, this is about the same as a Range Rover, which means the space in the back is, well, spacious. And look at this, electric reclining rear seats. Oh, and speaking of space, Polestar have added a touch of interplanetary whimsy to the 4 with the ambient lighting themes. And note also that's a landscape screen now, which can be customized so you can have all the buttons you like to use there all the time. And the 10-inch driver display complements a heads-up system. Another point worth making is in New Zealand, Polestar 4 comes with a higher standard specification than pretty much most of the world. That includes Harman Kardon audio, that heads-up display, pixel LED headlights, and 3-zone climate control. And that audio system, I'm going to turn it down because I'll get in trouble with the rights police, but it is incredible. It is loud enough, I can attest to this, to embarrass my teenage daughters with the windows up. Let's talk prices. $19,990 for the single motor, $129,990 for the dual motor. And this is the performance version. That's another $10,000 if you like a touch of Swedish gold. This car also comes with the leather, which is from Bridge of Wear in Scotland. It's animal welfare certified. They've gone over the top with all the materials. Other options include microweave, which is made from recycled plastic bottles, or another one called Microtech, which is recycled polyester textile. Everything is thought of. The whole environmental impact of this car is part of every single surface. Even the floor mats are made from either recycled plastic bottles or discarded fishing nets. And it's not just about sustaining the environment. What about passenger sustainability? There's a total of 12 cameras, 1 radar, and 12 ultrasonic sensors, all fitted as standard. There's even an animal mode to keep the cabin nice and cool so the pet stays safe. Anyway, that's a big enough list. It's time to go for a drive. This 4 is a good looking car, especially on the road, on the move. You know, it might be hard to define, but this SUV coupe, fastback is beautifully resolved from a design standpoint. I mentioned earlier that this is not only the most powerful but also the fastest Polestar yet. This dual motor version will go from 0 to 100 in 3.8 seconds. But I want to just expand on the acceleration thing, and for this experiment I've actually got Drew on board with the camera. You see, I've been driving this car for a week now, and the truth is I've only launched it a couple of times. Okay, 3 or 4, but there's a reason for my restraint, and I'll show you right now. I'll come to a stop and I'm getting ready to give it a go. Right now, you watching the phone? Here we go. That all too clever inductive phone charging socket can't quite match the G-forces generated when this car launches. Are you okay there, Drew? Almost perfect design. But there's another reason. You see, for all that performance capability, the Polestar 4's most stunning feature is the ride comfort and the quiet. When you select the standard mode, which I'm in right now, the ride and refinement it's remarkable, and not just for the price of this car. For a car under $250,000, it's remarkable. To give you an idea of how good, the voiceover for this film has been recorded not in a voice booth, but here in the back of the car, and we're doing it on the move from here in business class. It really says something. A car that runs 22-inch wheels should not be this quiet and smooth, but it is. I talk about performance and refinement, but remember, this is an EV. The green side of things matter, and this car stands out. This is the greenest car Polestar have ever produced, and that's not a statement, it's an actual measurement. The footprint, well, it's impressive, between 19.9 and 21.4 tonnes of CO2, which, trust me, is not a lot, especially for an EV, and 85% of this car is recycled, reusable, or remanufactured. A perfect example is the Microtech fabric I mentioned earlier. You'll see it, feel it all over the car, the tops of the doors, a lot of the surfaces. It's made using pine oil instead of crude oil. That's just one of the, say, little but big steps Polestar has taken. Anyway, that brings me to the EV side of things. This dual motor will deliver 580 kilometres WLTP range, which is helped by a special range mode which can disconnect that front motor. Meanwhile, the single motor will get you up to 610 kilometres. Whatever Polestar 4 you go with, it comes with super fast charging, 200 kilowatts DC or 22 kilowatts AC. And it also has vehicle to load, which means, say you go camping with this car, you could power everything you need from your Polestar 4. And if you've taken a caravan or tow anything, this will lug up to 2,000 kilos. Now, the level of tech on offer means that the Polestar 4 is a huge jump over the Polestar 2, but the level of tech on offer is a huge jump compared to the Polestar 2. But like the Polestar 2, the 4 shares that fantastic trait of, well, not letting all the smarts make you feel dumb. They're all easy to use. That said though, this car is super clever, especially when it comes to keeping safe. There's Mobileye's Supervision ADAS system, which over time will enable a host of leading driver assistance functions, and eventually Mobileye's Chauffeur, which is a fully autonomous driving assistance platform. But that tech's not with us yet, and that's fine by me because I'm loving this driving experience. Something else I'm loving, and I probably didn't make a big enough point of it early on, so I'm going to touch on it again, and that's the interior. This is truly impressive, and not just for its eco credentials. Park that side of it just for a moment, because it's the ultra high level of luxury, not just the walnut and piano black sort of luxury. Instead, in this car, it's the perfect mix of alloy and all those eco fabrics. It looks and feels fantastic. Here's the thing, EVs are unbeatable in an urban environment. They're quiet, they're quick, super efficient, especially in stop-start traffic. But you see, the Polestar 4 has all that and then another dimension. And that's how it performs on the open road. It's beautiful on the motorway, and it's so much fun on true windy open road. The range is great, the price is compelling, and it looks awesome. And in dual motor form, it's super quick. You select performance mode, firm up the suspension, and man, this car really gets on with the job. But I keep coming back to the quiet achievement. Listen. This car has plenty of edge, technologically, environmentally. It's an edgy looking car. But the cool thing is, what it's not is hard edged.